coming here, for being here. Also, pleasure and honor to be here. Today, I want to talk about actual topic, I guess, on top of many people's heads. Times are quite intensive in terms of changes and news, and we all are grappling how to cope with it, how to even thrive with it, hopefully, and that's what this talk is about. First, a little bit about myself. I'm Harijs. I've been software field for more than 20 years, mostly development. I've been working with passionate people now for many years. One of the best consultancies in the Netherlands, and for the last 4 years, now I've been serving at Giraffe 360 as an engineering director. So yeah, this question of coping with the streams of information, of changes, of technology, updates, and everything is a constant story of my life. So this is what it's about. Have I figured it all out? Yes, absolutely I have. No, of course, obviously. If you're coming here for a ready formula that can be applied, I don't think you're going to get it here, because obviously I don't think it exists. However, if you are up for a first principles-based journey of curiosity, how to think about these things, how to approach it, I think you can exit this session with some good takeaways. I certainly hope so. Right. So what are the fundamental forces working in the background? What's the tension? Obviously, technology is evolving quite fast. AI is the one impacting our work a lot, but there's things happening in quantum computing field, biotech, nanotech, military, right? Supersonic weapons, and God knows what's happening in secret labs, right? It's practically never clear which bet gonna pay off, which trend to jump on, which wagon to jump on, etc. And whatever teams we're working with, whatever kind of resource we have, it's always finite and limited, so we have to make somewhat wise choices. If you jump too fast, you can make a wrong bet, and then you have to live with the baggage, wasted resources, legacy, technical debt you made, and the consequence of that. You wait too long, you hesitate, well, your competition may jump on a right bet and they're going to get ahead, or you have to constantly live with the FOMO, right? We all know what it is, not only in technology field. And you have to constantly wonder if your organization is resilient enough, because your teams would get burnt out by constant change if you force it on them, to investigate this technology, adapt this framework now, etc. And knowledge gaps can form quite quickly if the learning isn't systematic. There's an old adage in the management field, I think quite old, like, how do you eat an elephant? Obviously one bite at a time, right? I mean, be systematic, take a big task step by step. However, in, in this day and age, and also tech field, the elephants keep coming in, right? You're not even halfway with one elephant, three more waiting at the door, and so on. So therefore, yeah, it's good to, I think it's sane to reframe the problem. There's no, there's nothing genius in that. It's not like a novel thought, but it's good to remind yourself now and then, hey, think from first principles. Don't just get ahead with the pace and the noise of everything changing. Instead of asking or saying, how do we adapt to every new trend? Just stay firm, ground yourself, and what will have the most impact at the right time with acceptable risk? And similarly, not going ahead with the attitude, we have to do it all, have to try it all, have to figure it out all. No, remind yourself, ground yourself, what should we do first and foremost? What can be delayed or delegated, right? Those are not genius thoughts, there's nothing novel in that, but it's very quickly to forget about those, right? To just, the rush of the times, the information stream just takes us away, and we lose ourselves in FOMO if we don't ground ourselves in a good enough first principles thinking, right? As in many things, you have those 2x2 matrices, right? You take 2 dimensions, like Eisenhower's matrix, important, not important, urgent, not urgent. So similarly, you can plot many dimensions. Here, maybe it's useful to plot impact versus complexity, right? How complex something is, how much unknown, how much you have to figure out on the way, and how much likely impact it's going to go. So if you plot it against each other, again, you get 4 quadrants, 4 boxes you can put each potential technology in. So number 1, obviously, high impact, high complexity, probably worthwhile to validate. Jim Collins had a great article which roughly went like first fire bullets, then cannonballs. Basically, the whole premise being that the organization has only so much resources to put into one cannonball, to aim. So first, shoot a couple of bullets, right? Small-scale experiments before putting a lot of amount, time, and effort and resources behind something. So validate. If something is high impact, low complexity, obviously quite a no-brainer. Prioritize adoption. These things, I think, quite intuitive, quite natural. But again, it's very easy to get carried away, and it's good to have kind of first principles like this, right? Plotting these boxes at least, then you know where you stand with each thing. And if something is low impact, low complexity, probably ignore it or put it in a backlog maybe someday. And low impact, high complexity, just ignore it, right? Okay, and the fundamental pillars, either way, is you have to remember, you need to pose your organization or your teams to be resilient, which means ability to withstand shocks, whatever it is. Bus factor is a shock, right? A team member who is very knowledgeable, holds a lot of know-how, suddenly gets ill, or maybe has to move to a different country. That's a shock, right? Also, losing funding is a shock, so you need to position yourself that there is some resilience. Agility, our favorite word, right? But fundamentally, it's about speed and velocity. Flexibility. So speed is how fast can you move, and flexibility, how fast can you react to change. That's what agile is all about. Of course, we get quite entangled in the whole process and all that, but ultimately, it's about speed and flexibility to turn and twist when it's necessary, when the data and situation changes. And at the end of the day, innovation, because today we want to be better than we were yesterday, and tomorrow we want to be better than we are today. So these are, I think, the three fundamental pillars on everything rests. All right, now we're out of the boring part, I hope. The kind of first principles, laying the groundwork, just to get this whole started, and I hope this is more interesting from here. One of my favorite quotes, Wayne Gretzky, saying, "I skate where the puck is going to be, but not where it has been." Quite a genius statement, right? But also, again, a no-brainer, right, in a way. However, if you would put me in a hockey field, probably many of you as well, we were forced to compete with others, play the game, we would probably skate where the puck is, because we lacked understanding how the player is going to play, where it's going to be passed, who's trying to do something. Because we might have a good grasp of physics. You see the puck going this way, probably going to hit the board. This is the angle going to reflect. It's going to go there. Yeah, we're going to figure it out. Put on 3 more players nearby. God knows what's going to happen, right? You have to have this theory of mind. So it's actually a difficult problem to skate where the puck is going to be. And same in, I guess, in our field, in technology, so many disciplines, back-end, front-end, cloud, DevOps, right, QA, AI, machine learning, different models, LLMs, transformers, convolutional neural networks, computer vision, you name it, right? So much going on. Like, where is it all going? What's happening? Very difficult. I want to introduce you to the concept of isochronic maps. Have you guys ever seen anything like this? Few people have, right? So I'm happy I can bring this concept to you. When I first saw it, I was a bit mind blown. I really like this concept. So this is drawn from the perspective of 100 years ago. Obviously, London is the center as the most of the modernity. Maybe not anymore, but this map was, of course, drawn from the center of London. It's basically plotting out on the world map how far you can get from London in given amount of time. So the dark red is how far you can get in 5 days. Lighter red is that's 5 to 10 days, and so on. So you can probably get most of the world in 40 days. That is at the time when the fastest mode of travel was trains and steamboats, right? Quite an interesting concept, this isochronic map. I really liked it. So fast forward 100 years to nowadays. They say world has gotten smaller. I think world is the same size, it's just we can travel faster. We have jet planes, and I think that makes the whole difference, right? And faster trains. So you can pretty much get anywhere within 1.5 days. So look at the dark red. That's a half a day. Even in the United States, you can land right within a half a day wherever you have international airports. So what has happened in 100 years, technology has allowed to cover a larger distance in much more a smaller unit of time. Quick reference, might come interesting later. Back in the day, Middle Ages, when they drew the maps, they used to draw dragons, far away on the edges of the map because I didn't know what's there. Could be anything, right? But yeah, I want to apply now that same concept to development, right? So take this amazingly sophisticated map I draw. It's an isochronic development map, but I hope you will bear with me. So think of those circles as units of time. So the big in the center, of course, is the present moment. Then you have 1 week, 1 month, and 3 months, right? And then a couple of examples. What could you build in that unit of time from the perspective of year 2000? So it's a time I don't think we have WordPress. I think it's ECMAScript 4 or something, right? But we have PHP back then, right? And Perl scripts, I think CGI. So within 1 week, what can you do? So HTML website you can probably build in a day, 2, something like that. In a week, I think you could build some dynamic blog, right? Some posts, some bit maybe a login area, categorization, that sort of thing. Using Perl or PHP. To build into interactive small site, it would take probably something upwards 1 week to 1 month. A news portal, definitely more than a month. Depending how sophisticated, probably can fit within 3 months. And if you want to build Amazon at the time, complex e-commerce app, definitely more than 3 months. And at the edge of the world, the dragon, at the time, yeah, God knows what is out there, what can be built with technology, right? The YouTube wasn't there, Instagram, Facebook, right? Twitter, what can be built? So fast forward 25 years from the perspective of today, world has not gotten smaller, technology hasn't gotten more complex, but we just can cover way more distance in smaller amount of time, right? Of course, hello world is always at the center. It takes 20 minutes probably or less, any language to make a hello world. But within a couple of hours, you can build a static website, be it Gatsby, Next, whatever. Dynamic blog, you can make in 1 day. Just install a WordPress, right? Probably a couple of hours. Interactive small site, probably a bit more than a day, depending on the site. News portal, probably can get some sort of a template somewhere. Maybe glorified WordPress, something. So less than a week. A complex e-commerce app, depending on the complexity, you can get far away with Magento or other Drupal, whatever is out there. And of course, I'm not listing everything else that's been built over these years, but still there are dragons out there on the edge of the world because we don't know what can be built. I think technology can be quite limitless. Right. I looked at GitHub the other day. There's even a SaaS boilerplate, right? You get basically a boilerplate for a whole SaaS, full-blown SaaS. So Django backend, I think React frontend, even I think a Stripe payments provider. So you can get started and get quite far ahead in a quite short amount of time. So technological evolution allows us to cover larger distances, smaller unit of time. So that's, I think that's a fundamental trend to understand because we are moving up the layers of abstraction and are able to work with more sophisticated building blocks, putting them together and achieve more. I'll quickly check my time just to make sure I'm not too much off track. All right. So when talking about forecasting or thinking about future, I learned a really good angle or question to ask back in the day was when I was curious reading some Stratfor forecasts that's like geopolitics, very, very serious analysts, and I really liked that angle they took when forecasting something, what's going to happen in the Middle East, what's going to happen with China and Taiwan. Well, instead of like boldly saying what is going to happen or asking what's going to happen, they ask, first of all, what cannot not happen, right? We want to chart out first the boundaries of things that are almost certain to happen that way because way of causality, because of how things have been set into motion, right? You probably heard of revolutions, and I'm not talking about political revolutions. I'm talking about social, technological, and so forth. So you've probably heard of agricultural revolution, for probably what 10,000 years before Christ, when humans learned to basically farm animals and plant crops, so they don't have to move all the time around, hunt and gather. Basically moving from hunter-gatherer to agricultural civilization, allowing us to build cities and civilization. Then obviously you heard of first industrial revolution, steam pumps, etc. First pumping water out of the mines, then railroads, and story goes on. Then like technological revolution, a bit more the next level after industrial, more sophistication with steel, with chemicals, factories, that sort of thing. Digital, right? Microchips, electronics, digital communication. Then we get to today, internet, AI, that sort of thing. Maybe AI is not part of the thing how it's usually classified, but what does it tell you about the future? What can we expect? We can expect the next industrial, right? The fifth industrial revolution. What it's going to be like? Yeah, there's something next, but it doesn't really help you to predict. However, I think there's a way more better angle to look at those and to look at those as unlocks. And what I'm talking about is that with the agricultural revolution, what we gained access to was surplus nutrition. Before that, we had to basically hunt and gather, right? We had to follow wherever the food was. We had to move. Once we learned how to create food, how to farm animals, how to produce food, make stockpiles, we could settle down. We could start building civilization, cities, right? Stay in the same place, make a stockpile, make through harsh winters, allow population to bloom. So we gained access to that. What happened in Industrial Revolution with the steam engine? We unlocked access to surplus power and work. Because until then, everything we did, like all the activity we could perform, was basically human muscle and animal muscle, right? You had oxes, donkeys, horses doing the bulk work, and humans. A little bit of windmills and water mills, but that's so tiny that doesn't even count. So once we got access to surplus of that resource, look what we could build, right? We could move huge, heavy loads from mines with the railroads, build high scrapers with cranes, because you're lifting up very, very heavy payloads, power whole cities with electricity. Basically, we don't have to do the physical work. We have machines who do it faster, reliably, and 24/7. And what is happening right now? What have we unlocked? We have unlocked surplus cognition with LLMs. I didn't come up with this. I actually came across this from multiple sources, and I really, really think this is true. I really think this is the key way how to look at this. We have just unlocked extra cognition, because until now, everything, reasoning, analysis, conclusions, all was human brain power, right? Of course, yeah, we have had computers around for a while, statistical machines, but I think that belongs to the previous era because it's all rules-based, all algorithmic, all statistical. Even though, yeah, statistics, of course, at the base of LLMs, I think their uncanny ability to really play with the language, with the symbols, is game-changing here. Quickly check the time again. Still good. All right, so I think that's the crucial unlock, crucial aspect how to look at this to try to make ideas where we're going, what's happening, what is the future going to be like. So from now on, I think it's fairly easy to say that automation work that machines have been doing is going to keep moving up the abstraction layers. In more uncertain, more unclear environments, machines will be able to make sound decisions. So the other day I was standing at the junction, multiple roads coming together, multiple traffic lights, cars moving 70 kilometers an hour, fast enough speed. If you hit somebody, you kill somebody, right? You don't want to crash at that speed, can be dangerous. But we completely entrusted the whole interaction with multiple vehicles, multiple roads to computers, right? To a traffic light system. We completely trust it. It's been there for 10 decades because we trust technology, we have tested, we have worked it out. With LLMs, we're just starting, right? There are applications, what they can do, the testability, we're just getting started. What are they going to be capable of? What we can entrust them. Already now people, of course, are brainstorming. Yeah, you can be a AI sales agent, right? You can talk with somebody, has a product information, tell somebody, try to even convince you to purchase something, or even sort of steer the conversation, or let's say, try to calm your concerns and basically persuade you to do something. Customer support, I think no-brainer, reception agents, etc. But what about procurement? Maybe a company can entrust also the procurement part to an AI agent. Why not, right? The receiving party can also be an AI agent in due time. Can be automated. AI run factories. Let's say an agent that takes decision which what is the let's say order list, how many clients are waiting for how much of production, and then can make best decisions how much to purchase, right? Just moving up the abstraction layer on sophistication. Now we have let's say industry units, let's say like a small heating unit operating completely autonomously, right? Consuming gas, producing warmth, all based on the computer, but it's rules-based. We completely trust it. Why not? I think the question is not why not. It's just a matter of time when we can entrust a more sophisticated process to our own factory. And our imagination is very limited by the present. Just like in Industrial Revolution, people were worried that all the tailors will lose job, and what will they do? Because now we have sewing machines, we have now factories that produce clothes. I think it's very similar today, because our imagination is very limited what we have right now. Either way, we'll have to start operating at a higher level. If machines move up, abstraction layer, we have to do it too. Yeah, this is it's only a beginning. A lot of details will emerge over time. Okay. I can continue on this line of thought quite a lot. It's just one line of thought here. Either way, humanity will have to decide what tasks will they entrust machines and which not. Probably not making judicial decisions, probably not trialing, not sending people to jail. Although I see, I think somewhere, a couple places in the world that's being taken into account as a recommendation by AI system. But probably humanity will not be okay with a legal system run by AI. Either way, if AI will be able to handle more complex questions, the security and stopping adverse agents will definitely become more important, because the more AI can do, more good it can do, more damage it can do. If bad agents get access to it, well, it can really screw our life up to really bad. So everything from espionage to military sabotage, cybersecurity will become obviously paramount. And you can go on and on and on with this idea that we have now unlocked cognition. Basically, there's another slide later a bit with a tweet. Somebody says, basically what we have now is intelligence on a tap, right? So once you have that understanding, I think a lot of things click, and you can, you can just go on a train of thought and think, yeah, what does that mean? However, cognition is not everything. Obviously, luckily not, right? There's still us, humans with our own innate capabilities. Hopefully, think we can hopefully make moral judgments and ethics ourselves better. We have emotional insight, empathy, creativity, although maybe that's an interesting one. Do we have more creativity now than a generation or AI? We'll see, time will show. And I'd like to believe we still have spiritual insight. But either way, we have to become more wise. We have to set a new bar for ourselves, even to survive in this world. But because we have created so potent machines. It's early beginning, but I think it's clear where it's going. So yeah, here's the tweet. What Andre is quoting. So, intelligence on a tap is the phrase. Andre insists. Well, he has figured out. He has had a revelation that he values agency higher than just pure intelligence. And by agency, he means the capability to make autonomous decision, basically deciding to do something. Yeah, you can now have AI to draft you a quite good business plan, right? If you feed it the good data, let's say with some possibilities, it can reason quite good, probably course of action. But it's up to you, right, to have initiative to actually go do it, and that still is more valuable. And this guy quoted. Not quoted, but said this the other day, not long ago. Actually, I don't know what he meant exactly. I think he's losing reputation in a lot of circles as of late for obvious reasons, but he's definitely in on something, definitely in on some inside knowledge what's going on in technology, so that's what he said. Right. I'm often reminded of this slide. Also saw it yesterday in the panel in the morning. And to be honest, I don't know exactly if that applies to the current state of AI and LLM, if it's really applicable. Maybe it just breaks down. Maybe it's not the case. Or maybe, yeah, we are actually close to the peak and disillusionment is coming, because AI has had winters in the past, and it can have any time, right? When AI invention, innovation, and evolution pauses. Right, I still have 5 minutes, so that's perfect. All right, as for the more practical steps, like next things, I think already seeing movement towards more intent-based interaction. So the previous one actually is from an article on Hacker Noon, pretty nice article about how our interactions with computer systems are going to move, or is already moving somewhere from command-based, click, click, I want to do this, go there, achieve this, enter, to actually intent-based. Hey, I just want to go home. You do what you need to do under the hood, take me home, right? Create a ride, send the taxi my way. I think we'll see that more and more in our interfaces as well. There was this paper, I think by Microsoft. There's a video below the abstract. It was basically about bespoke UIs, so custom generated on-the-fly UIs. The example was with with chatbot, a person asking, "Hey, I want to organize a birthday party for my daughter," and AI admits, "Oh, sure, yeah. What is she interested in?" And what the UI immediately generates is a couple of blocks, some with pictures, some explanations, so completely on the fly. Right, I think that's also a trend we are likely to see. Actually, I'm waiting for one of the front-end tools to, maybe Next, maybe some other frameworks to start allowing for this. So maybe representing UI as a JSON schema that can be updated on the fly based on user intent. So I think we're definitely going to see movement away from classical menu model based to something more dynamic, completely based on the user intent. So. All right. To conclude, the title of the talk was how to thrive, how to stay sane, right? How to manage your teams. It doesn't matter if you're an individual contributor or just informal, maybe tech lead, or formal team lead, or maybe leading multiple teams. Either way, it starts with yourself, right? Your information sanity, your ability to cope and to see through the noise and to lead people. It's one of my favorite slides. Not slides, but pictures online. I think this is definitely pre-AI time. I've seen it a long time ago. Maybe it's Photoshop. It's likely Photoshop, but I really like it. No way around but having healthy habits if you want to thrive in this modern time of noise and lots of news. I sin as much as the next man, stay sometimes too late, drink a bit too much, don't sleep enough, don't exercise enough. But I'm already 40, and when I really sin, I feel I feel the impact. So if you have healthy habits, that's really a game changer, right? Good sleep is a superpower. So remember, I think it's good to be reminded now and then that these are like fundamentals if you want to thrive and have a clear cognition. It's really good to know that. Just as well, just healthy reading habits. Don't go on Instagram or Facebook late at night. I do it sometimes, but don't do it. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad for your sleep, right? Try to create good sources if you want to stay sane. I really like TLDR newsletter, and of course a lot of things more. I think that's my time. I can wrap it up here, so I'll be really quick. Meditation is great. Never really got into it, but you don't have to make it in fancy. But just close your eyes, sit down for a moment, just see what's happening in you. Just let the reactions unfold. Just all it takes 5-10 minutes, and all the impressions of the day will fade away. And one last thing. At the end of the day, what matters is human connection, the teams you work with, the people you work with. The bond is what gets you out of the day in the morning. So remember about that as well. This is a slide maybe you want to take a picture of. If you guys want to work with me at some point, message me up at the email or LinkedIn. Thank you a lot. It's been an honor to be here. I hope you take maybe 1 or 2 things from this talk, and we can chat someday. Thank you.